Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese, and this is my review of the Star Wars Black Series Jango Fett action figure from the movie Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, Zombie Cat's not in this video because she only seen this movie that he was in one time and she don't remember him very well. It's been a few years, so I'm just going to do him by myself. But here's the package. You can see him down there. And when it's in black and white, or gray and black actually, it's kind of hard to tell if it's Jango or Boba. But it's Jango. And you can see he's number 15. There's a description on the back. It says, in the final years of the Republic, Jango Fett was regarded as the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. Fett is covered in a sleek armored suit that conceals his scarred face. His face is scarred? Don't look very scarred. I don't remember it being scarred. Looks pretty clean to me. Well, let's open this guy up. Now, when you first open Jango up, he's all wrapped up in chains, the poor guy. But you gotta get the chains off of him. So I'll do that right now. So there's Jango Unchained, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Amazing. So the first thing I noticed about this figure is I really like the paint they used for his armor. I really like the silver. Silver looks really nice. It's really shiny, but also looks battle-worn. It has some scruffs and scratches on it that makes it look, I don't know, fairly realistic. I like it. However, that kind of makes the blue parts of it look very clean because there's nothing scuffed up about them at all. I think they should have maybe scuffed them up a little. There you can see his multiple pockets. He's on his Batman bat utility belt he's got there. His Jango belt. He's got his dual holsters there for his dual blaster pistol thingies. Blaster pistol thingies. That's probably what he calls them. You can see his silver armor goes all the way down his legs, onto his knees and shins, even onto his boots. That's just awesome. There you can see the light purple and bluish colors mixed in with the silver all over. Looks really awesome. I will say for the sculpt though, he looks kind of thick, doesn't he? Like kind of, he almost looks like he's a little fat or something. I don't know. Compared to like Boba Fett, I'll compare him to Boba Fett here, but it seems like in the torso there, he looks kind of big. I don't know. But yeah, there's his jetpack. Looks really cool. I think I prefer Boba Fett's jetpack though. There's his helmet, which I think it looks fairly decent for it being a removable helmet. Now, his outfit's very, very similar to Boba Fett's. It has some differences, but as for the armor on the chest and the helmet and like the gauntlets or whatever you'd call those around his wrist, very similar to Boba Fett because they both wear that like Mandalorian armor, whatever the hell that is. And that's pretty cool. So there's a look at his blasters. They're very odd compared to some of the other blasters in the movies. Look like they're both basically the exact same blasters. You can stick them in his holsters there. That's cool that he has dual guns. It's a little different than Boba Fett. But you can remove his helmet, which that's also very different than Boba Fett, because you never see Boba Fett's face. There, take his helmet off. And that looks a lot like the actor that plays him. I think they could have maybe... I think the sculpt's there. It just seems so plain. Something, I don't know. Now, the Han Solo I thought was good, but I think it's because he's got so many wrinkles that really defines his face. But his face is a little more smooth and there's not much paint there. I think they could have maybe painted a little bit. I don't know. Something. It looks like his eyebrow might be a little off with the paint there. But I really think it looks like the actor played him. I think they did a really good job with the face. And the hair. I was just noticing the shoulders here, the shoulder armor there. I like the way it goes up underneath there. That looks pretty cool. I like that. And here you can see that his jetpack is removable. Popped out really easily. It's got 3 little pegs to go in those peg holes there to keep it in. And it's painted in multiple colors. You got silver and dark blue and sort of like a turquoise color. So they did a really nice job with this on this backpack. There's a closer look at his gauntlets, which are a lot like Boba Fett's. Got the extra weapons hidden in there. There's the other one. Old school. And here's his helmet. Like I said, I kind of wish the blue was a little more battle-worn looking, so it kind of matched the silver part. But still, there's a lot of detail on this helmet. Got his antenna that sticks up. It's pretty cool. So there he is with his blasters and his holsters, just in case you want to see that. So he looks pretty cool like that too. Looks like some kind of old West guy dressed in futuristic armor. Oh, I just remembered, I should probably mention this before I go any further, because I may not have had this figure already if it wasn't for the Star Wars action figures memorabilia page on Facebook, because this figure was supposed to be out in Walmart and I could not find him at any Walmarts around here. And then he was on Amazon, but you'd have to pay like $40 or more to get him. But because of some people on that page, I found out that there was a link that you can click on and order him. Don't know if that link works anymore. It's probably a little late for that, but that link was able to help me get this figure, which is really awesome. Some kind of weird link that was like a glitch in Amazon or something that helped you get the figure. Like the actual link to buy the figure wasn't working right, so you had to use this other link. I don't know. It was confusing as hell. And some people were talking to Amazon people on chat, like, you know, that helped them get this figure. I don't know. Something like that. But if it wasn't for that page, I probably would not have him right now. I'd have everybody else except for him. So that was really awesome. That's one thing cool about joining that page. And I'll put the link in the description for this video so you can join, because it really helps out with getting the figures that are hard to find. So there's Jango Fett next to his sort of son, Boba Fett. I say sort of son because it's actually just a clone of him. I don't know, it's kind of like it was his son in a way. But yeah, it's cool seeing them together, because they never really actually got to be in costume together like this. Now, I will say that I definitely prefer Boba Fett, but that's not to say that Jango Fett isn't cool. Because for me, there was 3 really awesome villains in the prequel trilogies, and there was one for each movie. The first one had Darth Maul, the second one had Jango Fett, and the third one had General Grievous. And also Palpatine was cool too, but really, for me, it was Darth Maul, Jango, and General Grievous. Dooku, bleh, I didn't really like Dooku. Having said that, though, there is some things that bother me about Jango Fett. What bothers me most about Jango Fett is it makes me like Boba Fett a little less. Because my favorite thing about Boba Fett was he was so mysterious. You didn't know if he was a human under there. You didn't know what he looked like. He could have been a droid. Could have been some kind of crazy alien. His face could be mangled. It still could be mangled, but still, you just didn't know what he was. He was very mysterious. You don't know where he came from or anything. But by bringing in Jango Fett, showing you what his face is, saying that Boba Fett's a clone of him, so you now basically know what Boba Fett looks like. You know that he's human, and it just takes all mystery away of where he came from. That bothers me. So the main thing that bothers me about bringing in Jango Fett is that it takes all the mystique away from Boba Fett. I mean, Boba Fett didn't even get as much screen time as Jango Fett. He was in the movie more, I think. Like, you get to know him and see him a lot more than you do Boba Fett. But still, I thought Boba Fett was a lot more cooler. Just his, you know, like I said, his whole mystique. And I don't know. There's just something really badass about him. And his voice, too. I thought his voice was a lot cooler than his voice. And then when George Lucas went back and made the changes, he changed Boba Fett's original voice actor to him, and it didn't sound as cool. It's not terrible, it just doesn't sound as cool as the original voice. I don't know, that's the main thing that bothers me about Jango Fett, is it just kind of ruins Boba Fett a little bit for me. I wouldn't say ruin it, because I still love Boba Fett, just not as much as I used to. But that's just a gripe. It's not the worst thing George Lucas has done. Because Jango Fett was cool, like I said. He was one of the coolest parts of Attack of the Clones. Well, that's considered one of the possibly the worst Star Wars movie ever. Still, I do think the Jango Fett was pretty cool. George Lucas was trying. I don't think he got Boba Fett completely. I don't think he understood completely why people liked Boba Fett. But he tried. Also, there was something that Fu from Fu Reviews said that in his review of Jango Fett that I kind of agree with, that I never really thought about. I think it would have been better, like Fu said, if Jango was a mercenary instead of a bounty hunter. Because that would make more sense, really. Because basically what he was doing, it just seemed more like he was like a mercenary for hire than a bounty hunter. Yeah, I agree with Fu completely. It would make more sense if Boba Fett was the bounty hunter and he was the mercenary. Jango Fett was a mercenary. That makes more sense. You should watch Fu's video also because he kind of explains that a little better than I do. But I agree with that completely. So here's Jango Fett next to very surprised Al Borland from Home Improvement. And they were in the same movie together. So that's cool to see them together in figure form. Here's the cool villain of Star Wars Episode 1, Darth Maul, next to the cool villain of Star Wars Episode 2, Jango Fett. So as far as I know, these characters never met, but, they could have met before they died. Well, actually, I guess if you watch the Clone Wars, Darth Maul didn't actually die, so maybe he didn't meet Jango Fett before Jango Fett died. Because I'm pretty sure Jango Fett doesn't come back from being decapitated. Although you wouldn't think Darth Maul come back from being cut in half either, but he does. Okay, now for articulation. I'll pop his helmet off. His head's kind of stuck at the moment. There we go. But yeah, he's got good articulation in the head, I'd say. Spin around pretty well. Look up and down. Good articulation in the head. Then the shoulders. I thought it would be hindered by this shoulder piece here, but it's not. So he has really nice shoulder articulation. Is that a double joint? No, that's single. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, it's single joint at the elbow. And it can also spin right there. So that's pretty cool. And then at the wrist, he can move around pretty well. Spin. Then at the torso, he can spin. He can go back and forward a little bit, but not very much at all. Then at the legs, he can go to a split about that far. He also spin right there. Seems to be maybe a little hindered by this, but you can adjust that as you're spinning it. Then he's got double jointed knees, which is awesome. So he can kick himself in the ass when he screws up. And also he's got the really awesome ankle articulation that most of the Black Series has. So he's a really well articulated action figure. So I really like this figure. Despite the whole thing I said about him his character in the movie lessening Boba Fett for me, I still really do like Jango Fett, and I really like this figure, and it's probably one of my favorite Black Series figures. I think they did a really good job on him. I really like the scuffed up silver armor. I think it looks really nice. I do like I said, I do wish the blue on his helmet was a little more scuffed up to match the silver. But still, it looks really good. I really like it. He does look a little chubby, but I think that's kind of how he was in the movie. It's kind of like a stocky look to him. And the colors on him are really nice. The blues and the sort of turquoise color and the silvers. It looks really nice. It's got all his pockets on there, his dual pistols, really good articulation. The removable helmet's cool as you actually see his face, which I don't really care much about his face. It's just that you see his face a lot in the movies, so it's cool that you can have that option. So I really like this figure. I think it's really well done, and if you're a fan of Jango Fett, I say it's definitely worth it. I like it. Well, this is Mr. Evilcheese. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. So you're the person that all the clone soldiers were made from?
That's right. I bet you don't remember me, do you?
Never met you in my life, friend.
Oh, I'm no friend of yours. My name's Jango Fett now, but I used to go by a different name. Maybe this will refresh your memory.
Darth Maul.
Surprised to see me, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Did you look at my face? I am pretty freaking surprised. I chopped you in half. I mean, what the hell?
That's right. But now I'm back. And there's a whole army cloned after me, bitch. Then I got a jetpack too, in case you hadn't noticed. No, I'm gonna shit out red spiky balls on you just like that dude from Mario.
Oh, damn it, man. You see them other pictures there? Why don't you click on one of them to see the video? Or you could subscribe, Nate. Oh, damn it.